Okay, so the purpose of this video is to guide you through the process of performing a lit review. And to perform a lit review, I typically ask the students to use the following tools. So first one is called EndNote. And this is a software that you can download from the university. So if you go to one of the, like Google, you can type EndNote Texas State University, and it will take you to this link in which you can download EndNote for your personal computer if you would like to. If you are using one of the computers in the lab, the software should be installed in those computers. But if you want to install it in your machine, in your personal computer, you can do it through the university. So you just have to go through the documents that are listed here, and then you check the ones that boxes that apply to you, and then download the software. Once you have downloaded the software, you and installed the software, you can open EndNote. So this is trying to share. Okay, so this is the interface for EndNote. If you download the latest version of the software, these might look a little different, but in essence, it's all the same. So basically what this does is once you start compiling different research papers, you want to download the information like the title, the authors of the papers, and you want to place them here so you can start creating a library for your research. So that what EndNote does is it automatizes that process. So you don't have to do it manually. So once you have open EndNote, you will see this interface. And one of the things that I typically do is once I want to start when I get started with my lit review, I typically go to Google Scholar. So you can type go scholar.google.com. In there, you'll find this interface. And this is basically same works the same way that the Google works, but instead of just searching for everything online, it will look for journal papers or conference papers. So documents that have been peer reviewed and have been published for research. So for example, if I want to start researching about um, resilience in engineering, that those are the terms that I want to use, I can um, hit enter, and the papers that are associated with that search or those terms are going to show up. So what Google Scholar does is start showing papers that are closely related to the topics that you're searching for. So there's multiple options here on the left side. You can customize the range in terms of time where the paper when the papers were published. You can sort by relevance, which is the default, or you can sort by date. You can also check if there's any review articles associated with this search, or if you want to search patents and include citations. So I typically uncheck this. I go straight to the papers. And as you can see here, let's say I want to read this paper, I can click on it and it will take me to the journal where it was published. So for example, this one says open access. It was published in this journal of the International Council on Systems Engineering. And I can read the abstract. If the abstract tells me that this is something relevant, to what I'm trying to research on, then I can go back to here and I can import this into EndNote. So I like this paper, so I'm gonna import this to EndNote, and you see there's a file that is downloaded. I can click there, and what that is going to do is going to take me here. So if I enter my information, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't work. If you don't want to log in, you can just hit cancel. But the university wants to see if they can also attach the PDF file um, to your information in EndNote. So I think that's the only advantage of logging in. That typically it will find the document and it will attach it to your reference. In this case, I don't think they did it. But as you can see here, the information about the paper that I liked is here. So this is a title, these are the authors, and this is the rest of the information. So you start building that library in EndNote by continuing doing that process. Let's say you go to the next one. This one is also relevant. So how do you know if the paper is good? Typically, you will look for a journal that, like this second term right here after the name of the authors, those are the names of the journals. The year is also listed, and also the publisher is listed. So, for example, Wiley, Taylor Francis are good publishers. Elsevier is also a good publisher. Then, when you get to other ones that are not as famous, like Joint Commission Journal, those could be good, but we need to be a little bit more careful to make sure that those papers have been reviewed by people that are experts. But we can get to that later. One thing that I want to clarify is that sometimes this option doesn't show up, the import to EndNote. So in those cases, you have to go here to Google Scholar, go to settings, and inside the options here, you want to show links to import citations to EndNote. So there are multiple options here. You want to make sure that you select EndNote and then hit save. So in that case, this is going to show up. What else? So I want you to be able to search for papers using different terms. So resilience in engineering and healthcare, for example. Um, this is a journal. Information that you see here is, for example, how many times this paper has been cited. In this case, that's 221. So it means that 221 people have seen this paper and they liked it and they have cited in their work. So typically when this number is high is because it's a very good paper. Sometimes you see here is only two. Um, Sometimes there has no citations. So the higher the number of citations, the better, not the better, but not necessarily the better, but the typically is how useful other people have found this paper they have cited in their own work. So again, one more time, you go, let's say you want to look into this one. Um, this is published in the publisher is Springer Nature. The journal is Occupational and Environmental Safety and Health. So again, my recommendation is for you to look at the abstracts. If you think this is closely related to the questions that you want to answer, you want to go back and include that citation. So you click on the import to EndNote, you click here, and you'll see that um, will take the reference to here. And now you should have two papers listed in in your references. If we want to download the file, let's say, and I would recommend that if you think a paper is good, I would recommend you to download the PDF file. For example, if I like this one, let's see if we have access. Yeah, we don't have access to this one. So, but you see, if you go on this side, typically you will see that whether or not you have access, so you can find it at Texas State. Um, so let's say you like this one. We import this one to EndNote, Resilience and Resilient Engineering in Healthcare. So now we have that one. I can check here. It says that the PDF is available. So I can check if that PDF file is available. Yeah, the answer is yes. So I can download that file somewhere. Let's say you want to put it in your desktop. And then we can go back to EndNote and we can attach the file. So we'll go back to the desktop. In my desktop, here's the paper. So that will put it there. And yeah, and it will show up here in the PDF. Okay, so that's for now. I think that's all we have to do in terms of getting started with finding papers and putting them in a place where you can find them later and keep them in a very organized fashion. So when we start putting together the report, we can go back to this library and then cite some of these sources in our discussion. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here and I'll share that with this video with you later.